We need to understand that our voices need to be heard. Our voices need to be echoed. Our voices need to shout out to the world. And we need to recognize this as a powerful symbol of the reason why we should protect free thought, why we should protect free speech.
I am 14 and I am in the streets fighting for my right for health care and fighting for my right to be able to control my own body, because if we don't fight for ourselves, then who will?
My body, my choice.
Todas somos iguales.
Todas somos iguales.
No la discriminación.
Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that?
That's why a lot of the white people are afraid, and I don't blame them. Some of them, because of their appearance and whatnot, some of them are very intimidating.
Dear America, I started high school today. The doors are lined with coats of armor. An officer stands with a firearm, and children scan the streets for predators. Uncertain footsteps down our crowded hallways, waiting to be the next victim.
The question is the ineptitude of the education system failing the newer generations and leaving them with no grasp of economic knowledge for the future?
When you pay your Social Security taxes, none of that money is put away in any way for your retirement. It has nothing to do with you.
Over 100 years ago, women were guaranteed the right to vote. So why hasn't there been 100 years worth of progress towards gender equality in the government?
En la escuela el tiempo vuela, cómo ser personas educadas. Si por falsa inclusión estamos todas separadas. Nos separan como cajas de fruta, pero con esta canción cambio las mentes obtusas.
You're free to express your different, self-govern different opinions. As long as you learn to listen, practice and preach forgiveness, and never get too defensive. Speak only your true intentions. Hold up, yeah, watch how you talk to me, please. Your words can deplete me.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. I'm Catherine Tadji.
And I am Dominique Lasseur, and we are the co-founders of the Civic Life Project.
One of the goals of the challenge is to get young people to register and vote. Every day, decisions are being made in our society that will affect their lives for decades to come. But this goes beyond voting. Tonight, you will see and hear about a whole range of issues that young filmmakers care about.
You have just seen some of the 556 entries we received not only from the United States, but from the world over. It's wonderful to see the talent that young people have with this medium that they're used to express their concern and to talk about their passion.
I also want to acknowledge the heroic work done by our board of directors in keeping us going, and the incredible staff of the Civic Life Project. We are very excited to be working this year with some new partners, including the National Council for the Social Studies, Campus Vote Project, Our School Votes, and the Gephardt Institute for Civic and Community Engagement at Washington University in St. Louis.
Now it's time to turn this over to our host. They are both like family to the Civic Life Project. Janine Cook is a multi-talented artist, writer, performer. She is an activist. Her work has been recognized by the New York Times, Vogue magazine, and the Today Show. It's a pleasure to have Janine tonight. Welcome, Janine.
Shamar Mahan has directed and produced 2 documentaries for the Civic Life Project when he was in high school. And by the way, he has now been elected as the youngest council person in the history of his hometown, Bloomfield, Connecticut. Welcome, Shamar, and welcome, Janine.
Thank you both for that beautiful introduction. All right, everyone. Shamar, wait, 2 documentaries, and then you still became city council. How did you have time to do both of those things?
Well, I don't know where I get the hours in the day, but I managed to find it. I don't know how you find the time. I mean, between activism and your books, so you have a full plate.
We should be working together,
I
right?
think so.
Like, this is the start of something beautiful.
The first collaboration of many.
All right, everybody. Let me explain how things will work tonight. There will be films in 2 categories. So we'll have the social media category, and we're going to have the documentary film category. And we will see winners in both of those film categories announced tonight, in addition to our People's Choice winner, who you all decided should be the winner. And so I know you're asking yourself, who made these choices? Well, let me introduce you to our all-star team of judges who are all top professionals in their field.
Wow.
And speaking of judges, we are also going to be giving out what we call the People's Choice Award.
And even that's not all. I feel like an infomercial.
Yeah.
But wait, there's more. Throughout this 1-hour webcast, we're going to share some live performances from many, many multi-talented artists and young people. They're going to be performing spoken word, music, and dance. Just to remind ourselves that these young artists in all these fields are also trying to be seen and heard on the issues. But first, Janine, are you ready?
Oh, you know I'm ready.
We're going to give out some awards.
This is my I'm ready face.
We're going to show you our 4th and 3rd place winners in the documentary category. But wait a minute. For the first time in the history of these awards, one of these finalists has also won our People's Choice Award in this category.
That's really cool. Very cool.
I mean, very, very talented group of young folks here. So you're just going to have to wait for that one. Right now, please join me in congratulating our 4th and 3rd place finalists. Let's take a look, Janine.
What do you mean they sold the church? How are you going to buy the church? People that still own the church still have deeds. They're property owners. How is this church sold?
I just said, I'm going to go over there and sit. That's the way I was raised, on sit-ins. And I just started sitting there. I sat there for about 2 weeks before Pam Anderson came by and said, Laddie, what are you doing just sitting here?
And when I just heard they wanted to tear the church down and build a house, I was just like, oh, heck no, this is our sanctuary. It's not going to work.
So she began to sit with me. And as it went, our group grew and grew and grew. So as a lot of people just came in and said, yes, I will help you fight this fight.
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Give the church back! Give the church back! Give the church back! Give the church back!
We love you guys!
I am proud to be Asian!
In 2020, overall hate crime numbers declined by 6% from 2019. For the Asian community, hate crime numbers skyrocketed by 145%. Activists in California acknowledged these rising numbers and began the Stop Asian Hate movement to raise awareness and address growing anti-Asian sentiment during the COVID-19 pandemic. The movement gained traction during the spring of 2021, when attacks against Asians gained attention on social and mainstream media.
It is heartbreaking to read the news stories of these crimes.
On May 20th, 2021, Congress passed the COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act, a law dedicated to improving hate crime enforcement and incident reporting.
In today's fairly polarized, somewhat gridlocked environment, on a bipartisan basis, Congress was able to come together and reach agreement relatively quickly.
While a bipartisan success, the federal legislation was limited in scope.
Thank you to the finalists. Wonderful, wonderful films, right, Shamar?
Amazing.
You liking it so far?
I'm loving it.
Okay, so you're feeling it. We promised you talent, and as always, we are delivering. And let me take a moment here, though, to just thank the sponsors for the event, without whom there will be no event. So from all of us, thank you. Wherever you are tonight, please take your bow, pat yourself on the shoulder, and let's move right into the social media winner in 3rd place. I want to add that the Social Media Awards are this year being presented as a partnership with the Campus Vote Project. We're going to be watching a film called Let's Vote.
Our 3rd place winner.
This is Jamie. Hi, Jamie. Jamie likes to avoid politics at all costs, but with all that's going on in our country, he feels helpless. Don't worry, Jamie. There's something all of us can do to help fight for change. Vote. How, you ask? Well, let's help Jamie out. Step 1. Registration. In order to vote, we first need to register. First, go to vote.gov. Once you select your state, you'll be taken to your state's official website. Here, we can see all the different ways to register. Looks like Jamie's choosing to register online. Nice choice. After a few days, you'll get your confirmation, and hey, look at that, Jamie's registered. Nice work, Jamie, but we're not done yet. Step 2, voting. Now, Jamie needs to decide how he's going to vote. This year, we have a bunch of different options. There's in-person, which would require Jamie to go to a physical location. There's mail-in voting, which entails sending a special ballot through the Postal Service. And there's out-of-state absentee ballots, which are great for anyone who's going to be out of their home state on Election Day. What to choose? In person. Great choice.
That was great, Janine, wasn't it?
It was pretty good. It was actually really good.
Now, that was great. And now there's more to come.
There is more?
There's always more.
Okay.
As you said, we're here to deliver.
Okay.
Now, we mentioned earlier that we're going to mix things up a little bit by sharing some live performances. The same issues and the same urgency that drives filmmakers and storytellers like myself and Janine here to make documentaries can also drive artists to make art. So maybe we can see some connections here.
I think we will definitely see connections here. There's something in the ethos, you know?
The stars are aligning.
Exactly.
Let me introduce you to one of our Civic Life Youth Advisors. Welcome, Adrija Jana, a performance artist with her original work, As We Do Not Know Democracy. Adrija Jana.
A murky cauldron of feelings, frothing, bubbling, simmering for centuries, yet not quite daring to overflow. One more pinch of explosive added. One more lash of the whip, once more arsenic hands grasp our hearts, cracked lands and cracked minds. Dim light of the oil lamp. Eyes and wounds glow bright, whispers of silence corroborate. We won't swim anymore in this river of pain, foot by foot, step by step. Against the tortured disrespect, against the ones who snatched our lands, trampled upon our dignity and love. And so we fought for freedom sweet, freedom that came in fountains of sweat and blood, blood that still dries on the walls, blood that colonizers stepped on as they left. And freedom came with something more, democracy, and trains full of bodies of those who once loved and lived as our country was torn apart into two blood-torn enemy lands. Those ones of the same heart now had their souls shattered apart and hated as they once loved. And yes, freedom did come, a burst of light in a sea of dark, but as it came, it showed us all the scars left by the Azadi Ki Jang. And yes, freedom did come. And tired minds and battered souls, democracy was what they finally chose. And as we cheer for democracy once more, remember, it was not easily brought. So treasure it well, so you know. Blood and sweat and cold prison jails, shackles and massacre, and walking miles on a bed of thorns, and the destruction of what we once held dear. And then, as the cauldron finally overflowed, the end of an era. And that was how democracy was fought for.
Thank you, Adrija. Wow. So let's move on. We're going to get into the People's Choice Award.
I am very pleased to finally announce our People's Choice winner in the documentary category, Anna Cottrell, Teach Me.
Like, I do think, no, I need to get some different treatment than everyone else, but even though it's not a school for people with dyslexia and all that as much, they should still look it up. They should still know about it. And it's quite disappointing that they don't.
The word different means, I think different means like unique and special.
Something what isn't usual.
Well, no one's normal, so different it's just a different person. So the word different doesn't mean much to me. It just depends who you ask.
I would say I think the word different means you stand out more than everyone else in a crowd. Because you might be wearing big clown shoes and then everyone else would be wearing like a school uniform. It's a bit like a puzzle and I don't really fit into the puzzle.
I'm still just the same as you. I just have something different about me.
I usually masked. I never knew it was happening, but it was just like acting like everyone around you.
Like when you have to read something or you have to sit still for a long period of time. That's quite hard. We're just got to be moving, got to do something. You just, yeah. You just end up annoying everyone.
Sometimes I'd feel silly when I was standing next to one of my friends.
They just they sort of know how to act more.
At school you'll be like saying something, but then they just don't want to listen, so then they just act like they can't hear you. I'm quite shy, so I won't say anything and just leave them to it. They might look at me differently. Think, oh, he's quiet, oh, he has ADHD, he can't control himself, better not do anything with him or take him anywhere.
It feels like as soon as I've went in the school, I can't come out, so I feel sort of trapped. I also feel kind of overwhelmed because when you have to do work and you're not in the mood, but you can't just go and lie down on your bed, you have to still do it, otherwise you'll get in trouble, which at home you could have a break and then do it later, but at school you have to do it when it happens.
At home, that's like your chill space, you know? It was just finally, freedom.
I liked the people at school. There were some nice people. The kids were nice, the teachers weren't. That's definite.
What did the teachers do that wasn't nice?
Well, they taught you stuff.
They just said there's only one straight way of learning. It was just horrible being on the bottom of the learning board when you get given tests. Being at the bottom of the learning board made me feel very dumb. It's like I did something terrible. And then there's the red face, which for some reason is angry.
I just don't like learning, people telling me stuff. I like to find it out myself, find it easier.
Because how are kids going to learn stuff if they can't even learn how to be in charge of themselves? They just don't give them any opportunities to do anything they want.
What's something you would want to do in school, but you couldn't?
Probably choose my own lessons, get to choose what I do every day, and just have the resources.
Sometimes teachers tell me to do a math problem or something like that in a certain way, but for me, I would do it in a different way because the way they tell me doesn't make sense. So the main problem is the teacher's not understanding at all.
One time a teacher told me off for calling them their first name, and I had to stay back from assembly, and they told me off and asked me what I did wrong, and I had no idea, so that was embarrassing.
Most time when I get in trouble, it's just because I can't sit still or anything. It's when you put hot chocolate on something, in a pan, it boils up to a rim, but then it stops. But then with me, I just keep going and keep going. So I just end up getting removed out of a class or something and getting told off.
Once the teacher has told me off, while it's happening, I feel like my heart's beating really fast. I'm turning a bit hot. And then as soon as it's over, my stomach sort of sinks.
It would be horrible to know that these teachers were dissing on you when they're meant to be the grown-ups. They're meant to support the children. That's how school is. They talked about all their problem children, quote marks, even though they put them there instead of helping them to change.
Because not many teachers, most teachers wouldn't think that every student is perfect. They just don't understand what it's like.
I want to tell my teachers that I need you to understand me, and I need you to listen and stop getting mad at me when I ask for help or when I need a little bit of extra attention. You got to deal with it, you got to learn what this is like. You have a so-called problem child when actually I'm just a normal child who just needs some help.
You should definitely do more research on people with stuff like autism or ADD or dyslexia and difficulties people might have, because you don't know if this child's going to have it.
I can't do this because I'm hyper or something. It's like, if you think of an atom, it's got loads of stuff coming off of it. It's like that, like you have concentration, and then you have energy levels, and then confusion as well. I know I'm not the best at anything much in school, so there's a lot of better kids that like keep up to the pace of the best worker, and if you're not up to it, you get left behind.
And if someone says, oh, I haven't understood, don't be like, oh, I just told it to you, you weren't listening. Well, yes, maybe they weren't listening, but it doesn't mean that that's exactly their fault. So you should go to them and tell me, what do you not understand about it? But not in a sarcastic way. Just say, if you need any help with this, I will come and tell you again.
I mean, I don't think I understand it yet. It just makes me act differently.
Outside of the box.
I'd say it means you're not ashamed to, be yourself.
There's nothing bad about being different.
And I'm different. Deal with it.
Anna, do you know that you just won $500 for your film Teach Me? $500.
That's ridiculously exciting. Thank you so much.
Yeah, congratulations, Anna. You just won the People's Choice Award in this documentary category.
I'm corrected. Actually, you just won $1,000 in your category. Woo, it just went up.
She was good with $500.
Double is good.
It doubled, just that quick.
Congratulations, Anna.
Wow.
So, Anna, where'd you get the inspiration from for this film?
I guess I got the inspiration the same way I think anyone gets any inspiration for any type of film, fiction or factual. I started to kind of just reflect on some of my own personal experiences in my life. And I had some difficult experiences with my own educational needs at school. Mm-hmm. And it was that moment of realizing that I feel like I need to be a part of this conversation and find a way to at least start to initiate conversations in groups around me.
Mm-hmm.
And so then, I had some difficulties with my ADHD and dyspraxia, and I was actually not diagnosed at school for ages, which I actually think is quite common, especially among young girls. Mm-hmm. And when I made the documentary and I was talking to all these people and especially afterwards, once I got the response from some communities from the film, I realized that it was not unique to me at all.
Mm-hmm.
And that it was much more of a universal issue. And I think that the issue became so much more about empathy and understanding and needs, and it started to grow and grow and grow. And that's kind of why I made it, because I think you can start with small as a little spark and see where you can let it go.
I love that.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be the People's Choice Award? The people chose you. How does that feel?
I mean, that is kind of crazy, especially because it's documentary filmmaking, right? What is the point of what's the point of any film without an audience, right? But especially for documentaries, it's all about reaching people and connecting and telling other people's stories. And I have been so honored by those 4 children that were in my documentary to even allow me into their world, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then the fact that I'm able to then tell that story and it connects to other people's stories, and it's been crazy. Twitter has become my new favorite place after I made this documentary, because I've just reached out to so many people, and it's become more than just silly memes and funny tweets. I found communities and charities that are interested in the same things I am.
Mm-hmm.
And so to have people vote for something, to have people have a positive response like you do, makes it feel quite validating, to be completely honest.
It's beautiful.
Amazing. Really, really great. We appreciate you. We're really both so proud of you and can't wait to see what you do next. And again, congratulations on being the People's Choice. All right, take care.
Thanks so much. Bye.
Night.
Take care. I should have said cheers.
Cheerio.
Yeah. Our friends from across the pond.
Absolutely.
I think that's a beautiful thing.
And it's like we were talking about earlier, right? When we understand that we're not alone in our issues, we're not alone in our struggles, and we don't have to be alone in our victories. And that's beautiful to see that.
She did an amazing job, didn't she, Janine?
It was super, of course. Yeah.
Now, I'm excited to see what our next performer has in store. Our second performance is a duet created by the choreographer, a duet sort of like
kind of like us. I was thinking that. You keep jumping into my mind.
Yeah.
Okay. We're doing a little telepathy here tonight. Double fist bump
for the duet. Now, this duet was created by the choreographer and performer Emily Chamberlain Welcome Emily and J.M. Rodriguez.
The eyes, you think you shake your thighs in a room full of all the hope and tainted skies. The eyes, you think you shake your thighs in a room full of all the hope and tainted skies. I run until I find my lungs. I thought you had a clue. You walk until you find the things in me you thought you knew. I run until I find my lungs. I thought you had a clue. You walk until you find the things in me you thought you knew. You don't know me anymore. You think you shake your thighs in a room full of all the hope and take the sky.
Oh my God, that was phenomenal, wasn't it, Janine?
It was so good. But you know, I follow Emily. I'm always excited about her next piece.
Yeah.
A deep creative.
Looks like I got to follow too. I want to say thank you again, Emily and J.M. Rodriguez. Phenomenal job. But I want to take a moment here to say a bit about the Civic Life Project. You know, a while back, I actually worked with the Civic Life Project. And it's fair to say that, you know, my goals are oriented towards politics and making a difference in my community. And I actually took civics at one point. But what I found is that in many districts, civics, a course on how the government works, was taught widely to high school students. But over time, those courses faded away. And with it, the opportunity for a lot of young people to understand their rights and responsibilities within society and how they can operate within our government and truly make a difference. Now, that's what's so beautiful about Civic Life Project is that it's giving young people a platform to really apply themselves and make that difference in our community.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. I mean, to see that you're now a city council person, we know that the work of Civic Life Project actually works. You know, it's not simply filmmaking, it's filmmaking with a purpose.
Definitely.
In order to continue this work, I do have to say my piece, which is we need help from concerned citizens like you. And I'm not just saying that either. I am also not only a host, but I'm also a donor to the Civic Life Project. This matters to me. It matters that young people are feeling heard, are experiencing these types of joys for doing their work. I see you out there, citizens, and I know that you are concerned. And we're going to show you how you can contribute, even just a small amount. I've seen people donate as little as $5, $25, lots of money. If you're a very wealthy person, I'm not going to turn that away. Whatever you can manage, and maybe you can also help spread the word.
Now, we're coming down to the big prizes. The 2 second place prize winners.
Okay.
Now, in the social media category, our combined winner of the second place judges prize and the People's Choice Award. Now, this is the double winner here. $1,500. Andrea Careza for We Have No Colors.
Io non sono nera. Tutti mi chiamano così, ma non è così. Non sono uscita dal grembo di mia madre dicendo «Ciao a tutti, sono nera». La società mi ha insegnato ad esserlo. A te è stato insegnato a chiamarmi così. È un'etichetta. Io sono nera, tu sei bianca, lui è giallo. Eliminiamo queste etichette. Non siamo dei prodotti, siamo umani, esseri umani. Ridiamo, piangiamo e proprio per questo siamo tutti uguali. Lotta, combatti. Non chiudere gli occhi al razzismo per paura. Io non sono nera. Tu non sei bianca, lui non è giallo.
Hi, Andrea. Now, Andrea, you just won the second place judges prize and the People's Choice Award with the combined prize of $1,500.
Wow. Really? It's a prank.
Right.
No,
So that was absolutely amazing, first of all. And so tell me about, like, when you create a film like this, how do you distribute it? How do you get it out so that folks see it?
I created this project 3 months ago, and 3 years ago, sorry, when I was 18. And my goal was to fight racism in Italy, but I traveled all around the world with this project, and for me it's so important.
Thank you so much, Andrea, and congratulations again on creating this project. We Have No Colors. This was an absolutely beautiful film.
Really, really well done. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That was amazing, wasn't it, Janine?
It was a good film. Very good film.
That was absolutely powerful.
Well, it's powerful that we can have conversations in all of these languages about these important topics, and that film becomes this great equalizer. And I think that is super, intriguing to me with this process.
Definitely. Another example of bringing Civic Life Project around the world.
Yeah. I see why the judges and the people picked Andrea,
And as you're saying, it looks like the judges and the people are in sync here, very connected.
Just like who? All right.
And now with a prize of $2,000.
Oh my goodness, $2,000.
Big money here.
Okay.
We come to our second place winners for documentary. Now those winners are Ellis Chung, Shreya Ori, and Ash Taylor for All Men Are Created Equal. Congratulations.
All the women who have worked to secure and protect the right to vote for over a century, 100 years ago with the 19th Amendment.
Over 100 years ago, women were guaranteed the right to vote, the first real step towards women's representation in politics. So why hasn't there been 100 years worth of progress towards gender equality in the government? The late Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg once said, "I'm sometimes asked, when will there be enough women on the Supreme Court? And I say when there are 9. People are shocked. But there had been 9 men, and nobody's ever raised a question about that." Females make up 50.8% of the American population, yet they make up less than 28% of the American government, and there has never been a female president in the country.
If our country isn't truly representative and isn't truly a place where anyone can serve and lead and contribute who wants to, then we're not really a democracy.
Despite the progress that has been made towards equal representation of women in government, the United States is still behind other countries, and women are still seen as unfit for government positions. And it's not a global issue. America is ranked around 77th out of 193 countries in terms of female representation in government. To gain more knowledge on this subject, we spoke to Brooke Learman, a member of the Maryland House of Delegates, as well as an attorney who has experience as a woman in office.
Many of our peer nations have had women presidents, women prime ministers, many more women executives, many more women mayors, many more women in office in general.
Additionally, about 70 other nations have had a female head of government or state. We spoke to Ann Moses, the founder and president of Ignite, a nonprofit organization that trains young women to become the next generation of political leaders.
So in other countries, they actually have quotas about how many women actually need to serve in their legislatures.
Over 50% of countries have implemented these gender quotas, giving them a greater representation of both genders in their government. America is not one of these countries.
And so I think we're going to be lagging behind the world for a good long time.
Boys and girls are both influenced at a young age, impacting their desire to take part in politics. While some girls inherently enjoy politics, many are actually dissuaded from entering the field.
Young boys are actually told and rewarded for their leadership skills and suggested that they would be great political leaders by both schools and in families, way higher than girls are.
It is crucial to have more women in government so that girls have strong female political role models to inspire them.
Once women actually run, they often face a double standard, stopping them from achieving many titles. Cecily Basker is the current mayor of the town of Chevy Chase, as well as a lawyer who has experience with this issue.
If women and men sort of act in exactly the same way or say the same things, that they're judged in different ways for it.
The space that women have to operate in is so narrow. You can't be too tough, but you can't be too gentle. You can't be too bossy, but you can't be too meek.
There are even some who say that there are enough women in government.
They don't know what the data is, and so they think like, sure, it seems like 50%, right?
For many, many years, we're okay with having 100% of our elected officials be men, and 100% of our judges be men, and 100% of our CEOs be men. And I'm not sure why having more women be in office or be running companies or be on the bench is a problem.
Additionally, less than 1% of elected officials identify as non-binary. Evidently, non-binary people as well as women are extremely underrepresented in the American government. While America has been improving, women are still underrepresented, and the nation should not stop fighting until women have an equal role in government. America has seen through other countries that a female leader can be greatly beneficial. An increase in female politicians would provide more ideas and perspectives when making decisions.
I think the more women we have in office, the better America will be. Women focus on grassroots and family needs. They run to solve problems and to make government work for their constituents.
Additional female political officials would provide a better political climate for women and could spark change for other women's rights issues.
So deliberative democracies work best when there are people from different backgrounds, that have different identities and experiences, that they're able to attack a problem and put forth solutions that can readily address the needs of people that are differently situated.
If a certain group of people are left behind because there's no one speaking for them at the policy table, then we're all worse off.
Evidently, it is imperative that more female politicians are appointed and elected in the United States. The nation lacks women in government when compared to other countries and has an absence of policies that could lead to reform. Although America is making advancements in the representation of women in government, gender equality cannot be achieved until women have an equal seat at the table.
But while I may be the first woman in this office, I will not be the last. Because every little girl watching tonight sees that this is a country of possibilities.
So here are the lucky winners: Ellis Chung, Shreya Ori, and Ash Taylor for All Men Are Created Equal. Congratulations.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know what we won, but thank you.
You don't know that you just won $2,000?
We did not know that. I'm really excited. We worked on this. I worked on this film with my team for, a very long time. So we're very happy that, the hard work paid off and we were able to get second place.
I just want to know, and this is more so a question for the group here. What made you choose this topic, and All Men Are Created Equal?
I think it has to do with just not feeling like we're represented in government whatsoever. And we were asked about what issue we wanted the Congress to address. And that's a very important issue to us because young girls everywhere and non-binary people and all of that don't feel their voices recognized in the government. So that's something we definitely want Congress to advocate for and improve on, with women running in Congress as well.
Yeah, that is, that resonates with me completely. But how do you see film being used as a tool to make that happen?
I think that just media in general is very easy to spread, and it's a good way to communicate ideas because you can have audio and you can have visuals. So you can really capture such a wide audience with this one piece of media. And so it also gave us an opportunity to talk to a bunch of really interesting people who had good perspectives on this issue and share what their thoughts were too.
Amazing. Well, congratulations. You all should be really proud.
Yeah, if this is the future of our country, I would say our future is bright.
That's right.
So Janine, we spoke earlier about our partner, the Campus Vote Project, doing very important work in the community. And yes, they are all about college students getting out the vote and registering. But we'd like to take this moment to show you a message from them.
I vote because I want to be heard. I vote for justice.
I vote for change. I vote for freedom.
And I vote to make my voice heard. Make your voice heard.
Make your voice heard.
Make your voice heard.
So, big thanks again to that great organization, Campus Vote Project. We appreciate you. Now, Shamar, our third and last performance this evening, it's a vocal creation performed by Erin Maya and her community of artists and activist friends. It's called Dancing a Red Line.
Get up on your feet and change what you see. We don't need no crowds, no picket signs, just follow me. Get up off your seat and change what you see. You don't need no signs, no marching shoes, just follow me. Follow me out to the front lines, follow me down to DC, follow me out of the madness. I am you and you are me. Lead us now away from the violence, take the lead out of our feet. We've been sidelined, bearing witness. Up your game, lace up your cleats. Kick, punch, change into the darkness. Don't be afraid what you see. Won't come out until we're righteous. Time to change up the beat. We've been dancing a red line. Anger's falling in the streets. Make our strength and numbers increase. We say yes and we say no. Only way for me to get my freedom. We say when and we say how. Yes, it's time for us to break way clean. We say yes and we say no. Only way for me to get my freedom. We say when and we say how. Yes, it's time for us to break way clean. We say yes and we say no. Only way for me to get my freedom. We say when and we say how. Yes, it's time for us to break way clean. We say yes and we say no. Only way for me to get my freedom. We say when and we say how. Yes, it's time for us to break way clean.
Oh my goodness, was that not phenomenal?
Oh, amazing.
You saw them dancing the red line?
Yeah, I wanted to dance the red line a bit too.
I know, it's not enough space in here. We're kind of like, it's too tight for us to dance right now, but later, after this, I promise. Okay. So big deep breath, hold it, let it out. Everybody, we are coming up to our two final awards. The first place winners in each category with a prize of $2,500. That is a big money, right?
This is big.
Our first place winner in the social media. Now you have to try to do the drum roll because I did. Ready?
I think I got it better than her.
Hey, you took my job. Okay. So our first place winner in social media is Ben Negron for When I Speak Freely.
You free to express your different, self-govern different opinions. As long as you learn to listen, practice and preach forgiveness, and never get too defensive. Speak only your true intentions. Hold up, yeah, watch how you talk to me, please. Your words can deplete me. Talking about something easy. Don't be hurt when I speak freely. We fighting bigotry and intolerance, kept in discourse of fraudulence. Gotta upgrade your consciousness, gotta check your responsiveness. Speak your mind and reverberate quality words with confidence. Leaders, mind you, your audience. Some of them might be violent and hateful. They turn to crime and a normal offense with bias. That's really how they define it. We lost in communication, the marvel of modern science. The MLK was a radical. Force our voices, we riot. Let's speak the forcibly silence. Yeah, even if you don't like it. Yeah, watch how you talk to me, please. Your words can deplete me. Talking about some easy, don't be hurt when I speak freely. Yeah, watch how you talk to me, please. Your words can deplete me. Talking about some easy, don't be hurt when I speak freely. Support your sisters and brothers, dishonest people of color. Right now my lyrics is governed, know exactly you about to hear 'em. So take a look in the mirror, you exactly what they preferring. So never withhold the truth, they ain't ready for y'all to hear it. So, homie, why hate me? If I can't speak, then I ain't free. How you talk to me, please? Your words can deplete me. Talking about some easy, don't be hurt when I speak freely. Yeah, watch how you talk to me, please. Your words can deplete me. Talking about some easy, don't be hurt when I speak freely.
So Ben, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm Janine. This is Shamar. And the reason that we've contacted you is because you and When I Speak Freely is the winner of a $2,500 award.
Congratulations, Ben.
Thanks so much.
So how do you feel? You're like really chill about that $2,500.
I feel great. Actually, I wasn't really expecting to win. I was expecting a second or third place.
Wow.
So, this is first place, man.
Ben, can you talk a little bit about the power of film as a tool for getting youth voice out into the public sphere?
So I think from my experience, a lot of it with youth involvement. So if you have an idea as a youth, it would make so much more sense to have like creative freedom on it. And that's just one thing like I feel like the youth doesn't have a lot of in a lot of situations. So when you can be free with what you want to do and you can make it the best possible thing you can, then that's what really makes a difference. And that's what I feel would make more youth want to contribute.
Now, Ben, just to follow up on that, what does this project mean to you? I heard you talk a bit about the youth voice, but what does this project mean to you?
I think it's a lot different than anything I've ever done. So it was kind of like I took an idea, and I'm not really a big advocate on anything, but it did make me feel really involved. And then to see that people really liked it, it made me feel really great. And like I could probably make more pieces like this with the same process.
Yeah, people not liked it. They loved it. They absolutely loved it. And so did we, right, Shamar? I know, yeah, we did. And so I wanted to say congratulations one more time. You won $2,500 today simply from speaking freely. And so please continue that. And if you have any questions, you let us know.
All right.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Ben.
Thank you.
Well, Janine.
Yes, Shamar?
Looks like we came to the end of this journey.
I know.
Now I'm excited.
I'm on the edge of my seat. I really am. I'm like, who is it? Okay.
Because with the end of this journey, it means that we're going to make it to our last award that we're giving out tonight.
Okay. This is the big one.
Our final award for the first place winner for documentary with the prize of $5,000.
Big money.
This is big money here.
I think we should do the double drum roll. We'll do it together, like a duet drum roll.
With the spirit fingers?
You could do spirit fingers. Okay. I'm not so good at the spirit.
They just started.
Okay, all right. Once you start them, I'll start them. Okay. Ready?
Our final award in first place goes to Molly Smith for Dare America.
Dear America, where have you been? You used to tell me stories of hope and bravery. You used to tell me about the flag that's still there.
One nation under God.
I used to wear red, white, and blue, singing our songs in the summer heat. You never come outside to play anymore. Mommy says it's because you're trying to keep out terrorists. What's a terrorist?
Dear America, I started high school today. The doors are lined with coats of armor. An officer stands at the firearm and children scan the streets for predators. Uncertain footsteps down our crowded hallways, waiting to be the next victim.
Dear America, my school had its first lockdown. We were told to hide in the corner, silent.
Waiting for the attacker through a thin wall. Why do we wait in the shadows? Why do we wait to be shot?
Dear America, how many final texts will students have to send to their parents under a desk for us to be safe again?
Dear America, a school near me was attacked on Valentine's Day. I watched television in horror, blood boiling in my body as I saw the death toll rise.
My stomach churned as we returned to school the next day, as if nothing had happened. Students laughing because we are so used to these occurrences that it is nothing more than an afternoon thunderstorm.
When did children become secret soldiers? And when did schools become a battlefield?
Dear America, I know what it means. Terrorism. We learned about 9/11 in history class.
Dear America, when did my city become a hashtag? You told me this would never happen. You promised me that my streets weren't crowded with mentally ill, that they are the real problem. But I'm starting to think that the problem is you.
Dear America, why does the flag fly in the middle more than the top?
America, why do you think that thoughts and prayers are enough to save us from being another news story?
Dear America, today a lady was telling us we are strong, that my generation is braver than hers. Maybe it's because we were forced to be this way to survive. Maybe it's because she was too afraid to say the words gun violence, and we are not.
Our hearts break for Boston.
Colorado.
Orlando.
New York.
Texas.
Parkland.
Dear America, when will you start listening? When will my words be more than just noise to you?
When will my words be more than just a worn out pair of shoes that's been left on the roadway to rot in the heat?
I have a mouth but no one's listening.
Why are my words the cold, dead silence of an empty house? Or a scream at the bottom of a swimming pool?
Dear America, please write back soon.
Love, Taylor.
Lucas.
Ben.
Emily.
Evan.
With love, Generation Z.
Hello, Molly. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm happy to announce that you just won first place winner for documentary and the $5,000 award, Molly, for your film, Dear America.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That is actually the best news ever. That is so exciting. I made this film with a hope that it would really touch people. And I've seeing that it finally is, and people are really seeing it. It's getting out there. It's getting all of these responses that are just so powerful. And I could not have done it without the team of people that were working on this film. It was all high school students that made this piece. And I just cannot believe how far it has come. And with this prize, I want to make my next film. I'm going to put all of it towards the next piece. And this is just amazing.
So Molly, I just wanted to ask you a couple quick questions about this film. So actually, when I did my one of my documentaries with Civic Life Project, I did mine on gun control when Connecticut changed their gun control laws in our state. What made you decide to follow this narrative and I guess the point of view of a student and for your film?
I grew up in Florida, so a lot of my understanding of gun violence was different because I live in my hometown is the same town where the Pulse shooting happened. I had driven past that nightclub many times. The Parkland shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, those were students that we saw often at competitions, theater events. We knew those students and we knew friends who knew those students and we knew people who were there. So we had this different understanding of gun violence as being something really, really close to us. And I remember the day where the shooting in Parkland happened. It was Valentine's Day. We're all holding roses. We're staring at the TV. That scene was replicated in Dear America. And so I wanted to make something about how the students felt, because I felt that there was a constant discourse between politicians, and it was just so tied down in the minute details of like, should we allow this, should we allow that, what's okay. And it was so frustrating because neither side could come to any sort of conclusion, and it just felt like we were just stuck. And I wanted everybody to forget about all of those details for a second and return to the students who are struggling with this issue and going to school every day in a constant fear of being shot.
One thing I did want to ask you, where do you think young people fit in the national dialogue around gun control and issues like this?
I think that issues that affect young people should be talked about, advocated for by young people. I think that we're seeing a shift where, when I was in high school, we were seeing these movements with, the students from Marjorie Stoneman Douglas creating March for Our Lives. We saw that as being this huge change, and with the Black Lives Matter movement, primarily led by young people. And so now in high schools, students aren't thinking like, oh, I gotta wait till I grow up and I can actually like make a difference. You're seeing, I can make a difference right now. There are things that I can do. There are steps that I can take. And, it is true that like, you have to sort of wait for these people to like grow up and be able to get power in government. And you do still need the help of your elders and stuff to make these things happen. But it's no longer a thing where we're saying, oh, young people, like they're still growing up, they don't know what they're talking about. Now we're saying like, okay, let's listen to these students. They have something intelligent, important to say. And so I think that young people, particularly Gen Z, is leading that change right now. And it's really beautiful to watch that happen.
Definitely, Molly. I would say they're listening, and with this film, they're listening a bit more. So congratulations once again on winning the $5,000 prize and first place for documentary films.
Thank you so much. This is like truly life-changing, honestly. This is going to be really great. And my next project is going to be so good now because of this.
Awesome. We hope you submit it to the next film challenge. Such a full circle moment for you to be here now, going through the project, going through the program, submitting to the challenge, being a part of that process, and now being on the other side of the screen where you're able to give $5,000 out to somebody like Molly. And so it keeps the tradition alive, the tradition of storytelling and using story as a powerful medium for bringing folks together and advocating for the causes that you believe in.
Definitely, and to know that the young people are keeping the good fight going.
Yes, exactly.
Is always powerful to see.
So we have come to the end, and we've seen 8 very good reasons to keep making films like these and to keep supporting storytellers. And I hope those of you who are watching will be inspired to try this or to be inspired to give towards this work. And thank you so much, Shamar, for being with me tonight. We did a few fist bumps. This is another one.
Thank you, Janine.
This is a really powerful moment for me.
Yeah, it was very powerful for me, and to be able to sit across from you in this 1-hour webcast, I mean, absolutely amazing. And as Janine was saying, hoping everyone out there is inspired. I want to just express some gratitude to our incredible producers and inspiration here, Catherine Tachi and Dominique Lesieur, who are absolutely amazing. I feel like we're old friends now at this point. Then I have a new friend here in Janine. It's such an honor to be associated with their work. Like, I've known them for, God, I can't even count the amount of years.
It's a long time.
But since high school. And everyone out there, please go right ahead and make a donation to the Civic Life Project to keep projects like this coming out to the public and keep young people right behind the cameras and on your screens.
All right, Shamar. All right, everyone. Good night.
Good night.